Have you ever noticed that the people who hurt the most are never the cruel ones, never the selfish ones, never the ones who take without giving? The people who hurt the most are the kind ones, the ones who give too much, who trust too easily, who love too deeply, and nobody ever explains why. Until today, this is the story of Clara, the kindest person in every room she entered, and the most broken. Clara had a gift. She could walk into a room and immediately feel who was hurting, not because they told her, not because it was obvious, but because Clara paid attention. In a way most people never do. She noticed the person sitting alone at the party. She noticed the colleague who smiled too quickly, the kind of smile that hides something heavy. She noticed the friend who said, "I'm fine," in a voice that meant anything but, and she never walked past. She always stopped. She always asked. She always stayed. People loved Clara for this. She just gets it, they would say. She understands without you having to explain. Her home was always open. Her phone was always on. Her heart, always available. She was the person everyone called. When life fell apart, at 2 a.m., Clara answered. On holidays, Clara came. In crisis, Clara was already there, before you finished asking. But here is what nobody saw. Clara had her own 2 a.m. moments, her own crises, her own days when the weight was too heavy, and the silence too loud. And on those days, she sat alone, not because she had no one, she had everyone, but because somewhere along the way, she had become so good at holding others that nobody thought to ask if she needed holding too. She had made herself unbreakable in everyone's eyes, and unbreakable people don't get checked on. Her older sister Ruth once said to her, "Clara, you give so much of yourself to people. Doesn't it hurt sometimes?" Clara smiled that quick practice smile. "I'm okay," she said. "Helping people makes me happy." Ruth looked at her for a long moment. "Does it?" she asked quietly. "Or does it make you feel safe?" Clara laughed it off, but that night, lying in the dark, she turned the question over and over, like a stone in her hand. "Does it make you happy, or does it make you feel safe?" She didn't answer it. She wasn't ready, not yet. Then came the year everything broke. It started with her best friend, Sophie. Clara and Sophie had been friends for 11 years. Through university, through heartbreaks, through job losses and family deaths, and all the invisible battles that make up a life, Clara had been there for every single one. So when Clara's mother was diagnosed with illness, when the ground beneath Clara's feet turned to water, she called Sophie. The phone rang. Sophie answered, distracted, rushed. "Hey, sorry, I'm in the middle of something. Can I call you back?" "Of course," Clara said, "no problem." Sophie never called back. Clara told herself it was fine. People get busy. Life gets complicated. She understood. She always understood. But 3 days passed, then a week. Sophie texted once. "Hey, how are things?" As if the conversation had never happened. Clara stared at the message for a long time, then typed back, "Good, hope you're well," and said nothing about her mother, nothing about the fear, nothing about the nights she spent sitting in hospital waiting rooms with no one beside her, because she had learned, without anyone teaching her, that her pain was somehow less important than everyone else's. Then came her colleague, David. Clara had spent months helping David through a difficult project, late nights, weekends, endless patience. When the project succeeded, David stood in front of the whole team and thanked everyone except Clara, not maliciously, not deliberately. He simply forgot. Because that is what happens to people who help quietly. They become invisible. Their contribution becomes the air, essential everywhere, and completely unnoticed. And then, the moment that broke something open inside her. It was a Tuesday evening. Clara was driving home from the hospital. After sitting with her mother for 6 hours, she was exhausted in a way that had no name. Her phone buzzed. A message from a friend she hadn't spoken to in months. "Clara, I need advice. Having a crisis with my boyfriend. Can we talk?" Clara pulled over. She sat in her car on the side of the road, and for the first time in her life, she felt something she didn't recognize. Not sadness, not exhaustion, anger, quiet, deep. Long overdue, not at her friend, at herself, because she realized, in that moment, with painful, crystalline clarity, she had spent 11 years building a reputation as someone who never needed anything. She had been so afraid of being a burden, so afraid of asking too much, so afraid that if she showed her pain, people would find her too heavy to carry, that she had trained everyone around her to treat her as if she had no weight at all. She had made herself easy, easy to overlook, easy to forget, easy to call only when something was needed. And here is the truth that kind people never want to hear. The world does not hurt kind people. Because it is cruel, the world hurts kind people. Because kind people teach the world that it is okay to. Every time Clara said I'm fine when she wasn't, she taught people her pain didn't matter. Every time she answered at 2 a.m., but never made the call herself, she taught people her needs didn't exist. Every time she swallowed her hurt and showed up smiling, she taught people there was nothing to worry about. She had written the story. She had cast herself as the strong one, the giver, the helper, the one who never breaks, and everyone had simply believed her. She sat in that car for 20 minutes. Then she did something she had never done before. She didn't reply to the message. She put her phone in her bag. She drove home. She made herself tea. She sat in the quiet, and she let herself feel. Without fixing it, without explaining it, without performing strength for an empty room. Everything, the grief, the exhaustion, the loneliness, the years of giving without receiving, the ache of being everyone's shelter. While standing in the rain yourself, she felt all of it, and she did not run from it for the first time. She stayed with herself. The next morning, Clara called Ruth, her sister, the one who had asked the question she wasn't ready to answer. Ruth, she said, I need to talk, not to give advice, not to help with anything. I just need someone to listen. Silence on the other end, then Ruth's voice. Soft and immediate, I'm here, tell me everything. And Clara, for the first time in longer than she could remember, really talked about her mother, about the fear, about the loneliness of being strong, about the exhaustion of being needed. Without ever being seen, she talked for an hour, and Ruth listened, every word, every pause, every breath. When Clara finished, Ruth said quietly, Clara, I didn't know. I didn't know because you never let me see. You always seemed so okay. I know, Clara said. I made myself okay, even when I wasn't. Don't do that anymore, Ruth said. Please, you are allowed to need people. You are allowed to be the one who calls. You are allowed to fall apart sometimes. And let someone else hold the pieces. Clara closed her eyes and felt something loosen in her chest, something that had been tight for years. She thought about a lighthouse. A lighthouse stands at the edge of the sea. It shines its light for every passing ship. It guides, it warns, it saves. But a lighthouse, no matter how bright, cannot shine forever. Without maintenance, without someone checking the bulb, without someone cleaning the glass, without someone asking, how are you holding up out here in all this wind and dark? Clara had been a lighthouse, with no one tending to her flame. And she had been slowly, quietly, going dark, so she made changes, not dramatic ones, not overnight, but real ones. She started saying, I'm struggling, instead of I'm fine. She started calling people, not to help them, but simply because she missed them. She started asking for things, small things at first. Can you come with me to the hospital today? Can we talk? I need a friend right now. And something extraordinary happened. The people who truly loved her showed up immediately, completely, without hesitation. They had always wanted to, they just never knew she needed them to. So why do the kindest people get hurt the most? Not because kindness is a weakness. Kindness is one of the most powerful forces in the human world, but kindness without self-awareness becomes self-sacrifice. And self-sacrifice, done quietly, endlessly, without boundaries, is not noble, it is painful for you, and ultimately, for everyone who loves you and doesn't know you're drowning. Here is what I want you to carry. When this video ends, your pain matters, not less than other people's pain, not after everyone else has been helped. Now, as it is, as you are allowed to be the one who needs. You are allowed to be the one who calls. You are allowed to say, I am not okay today, and I need someone to sit with me in that. That is not weakness, that is the bravest thing a kind person can do, because here is the final truth, the one that changes everything. Kindness that includes yourself is not less kind, it is more, because you cannot pour from an empty cup, and the world needs your light. Not just today, but for all the years still ahead of you. Tend to your own flame, let people in. Let yourself be seen, let yourself be held. The way you have held so many others, you deserve that, not someday. Now, if this story touched something deep inside you, please share it. Because somewhere out there is a Clara sitting alone in a hospital waiting room, telling herself she is fine. She needs to hear this. You needed to hear this, and now that you have, go tend to your flame. Thank you for watching.